What's up, guys? Aaron here from Fresh Tech Integrated, and today we're going to look into Allison Park Church's broadcast setup with Nick Helbling, so don't go too far.
Hey everyone, my name is Nick Helbling. We're here at Allison Park Church at the Hampton campus. We are in our broadcast audio suite. This is where all of our audio gets mixed for our online broadcasts. It's where we mix audio to go out to our campuses, and as well as the feed that is going to TV. Here we have a Digico console. This is a Digico SD8. We also have a wave server where we're running waves with the console. And we're taking all of our inputs from our auditorium. We're also taking our pre-show camera feeds for online, as well as a bunch of different media from all of our graphics machines and things like that in the other room from our video suite, putting that all together and mixing that together here for online. A couple things going on in this room. We have a set of studio monitors. These are Yamaha HS8s. They've done good for us for a long time. And we are, like I said, using the Digico SD8. This is a console that we picked up not that long ago. It was a used console. It's been around for a long time. And for us, it was really a matter of getting to the right input and output count that we needed to be able to support the broadcast the way that we did. So things like our auditorium in monitor position can run on a lower channel count, but by the time we add in all of the media and graphics and stuff for online, as well as different return feeds and comms and all of that, we got pretty up there. So we got a Digico SD8 to support those needs for that. We are using waves for a lot of the band things, as well as mastering. That has served us well for a really long time. We're using the Wave servers, as well as the Waves Axis One computers, just the whole system. Waves has done such a great job of making that system all just work together and work really well. We're also running comm over here so that this broadcast audio tech can be in the online comms channel. This is where the director is going to give cues and count things in and out. Obviously, we have a multi-view wall where we have different clocks and we can see different camera sources so we can keep up with the broadcast. We're also running some music for our online experience out of QLab. QLab's a great program that we've used that's been really stable for running these cues. We control it here with a Stream Deck so that the broadcast audio techs can just be firing those cues as they need to. One of the biggest considerations when we were building this out and coming up with the system was obviously we want it to be as volunteer friendly as possible while still being able to do all the things that we needed to just do on a functional level. We want a new volunteer op who had some audio experience to be able to jump into this with relative ease. So we like to set up our scenes and our consoles so that they're laid out the same way. If they've mixed downstairs in our auditorium or somewhere else, they're gonna find it pretty familiar. Digico has also been great with that. The reason that we were able to get this SD8 inside of a budget was really because Digico has kept the ability to use even their much older legacy consoles with all of their current stuff like the SD12 that we have downstairs. Not a lot of other manufacturers has been able to scale consoles together that are that far apart in time that they've been released. So we've really liked that Digico has kept that support. So we feel good about them as a system for a long time and sticking on that infrastructure. It's also great because we can share inputs and outputs with downstairs and send a lot of channels both directions. One of our goals here is that obviously we want a great broadcast mix. For us, that means that we really want to tell the story and translate what's happening down in our auditorium to online. Obviously, when the pandemic hit and everybody was online, that was a requirement. It was something that we were focused on even before the pandemic, luckily, that we were pretty far down the road of wanting a quality broadcast mix. It's something we're already doing. But COVID just kind of put that in high gear for us and put a big priority on it. At this point, we really want to translate that energy. Sometimes we can do that really well if it's a service where there's a lot of people. We have audience mics downstairs that try and capture that energy. Sometimes it's a 9 a.m. service and everyone's still waking up a little bit, and that's a little bit harder to do. So we do our best really just to translate what's happening in the room. We can't manufacture energy that doesn't exist, but we do our best to just kind of tell the story on what's happening downstairs. One of the tools that we do use here to mix this broadcast is a loudness meter. So there's a lot of different ones. Some people use plugins inside of Waves. We have a hardware unit by TC Electronic. And what this does is it measures the actual loudness of our broadcast. This is a different measurement than just dB, which is like a standard audio console measurement. So different platforms have different standards. There's a lot of information revolving around that, but here we're basically shooting to, we want our broadcast mix to be loud enough that somebody can comfortably listen on a phone, on a computer, but we don't want it to be too loud that it is going to clip on different platforms and different mediums and things like that. This tool is also really valuable in a broadcast environment because when you're sitting and you're listening in a studio monitor environment, you have no point of reference. In a live room, you have a sound system. That sound system's always one volume and you turn the console up until it sounds good in the room. But here, you may have your studio monitors turned down low. You may have them turned up too loud. And if you don't have something that can measure kind of what you're sending out, then you're gonna have a really hard time making that consistent. And we want our broadcast mix to be as consistent as it can be on a weekly basis, not changing week to week depending on who's doing it. So we use this meter to gauge that. We're trying to shoot for about -14 on average in the music, and we run our speech a little bit lower, around -20. This is a really consistent way for us to measure that, to keep it consistent with all the different volunteers that are mixing, and to make sure that when people are tuning in week to week, they're getting the same experience, similar volume levels, and it's not all over the place.
Thanks for sticking around. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to get notified each and every time we post a new video.